Hello, it's James Johnson, aka Blade. Welcome back to my channel, welcome back to my content, and welcome back to Football Coach College Dynasty. So we're in the middle of Season 5, and we've got an upcoming game against Navy. We're currently a team that is riddled with injuries right now. So let's jump in. And look, holy crap, we're not the only team riddled with injuries, so is Navy. Navy seems to be having a huge problem with its wide receivers. Do they even have a wide receiver right now? So that's nice to see. Maybe we will have a shot in this game since they're so banged up as well. Alright, Navy won the toss. Navy is elected to defer to the second half. Let's play ball. Right, offensive coordinator wants to start off with a pass. It seems whatever the offensive coordinator drew up for us went nowhere. Our defense was nearly as stout. Let's see if we can get the offense moving. I can't. Alright, it's a defensive battle so far. And we just threw an interception. Wow. We can't seem to get the running game going on today. I'm not sure what's going on. Interception for us. Nothing on the ground. Alright, that's better. Let's keep running it. Alright. Play action. Fumble. Cole Denson fumbled the ball. Alright, Navy scores a field goal. We just threw an interception. Turnover on downs. 40-yard field goal. All right. And we missed. Right, I don't feel like this game is going particularly well for us. Let's just stick to pounding it on the ground, please. Tried passing, nothing happened. And our defense gives up a touchdown. All right, let's get back to the ground game. Punting. Fourth and 4. $51. Fourth and 3. Navy turnover on downs. Nope. Right at the gut. Right, we managed to eke out a victory there. Navy's defense was playing us pretty tough. And hopefully no new injuries this game. No injuries, big bucks. Stop. Great. An offensive lineman. Linebacker were the guys that got healthy, right? So our number one linebacker is back. Okay, points ahead estimate. Go down to the bottom. Okay, pitches have been assigned. Set our practice focus for the upcoming game against Miami. We're going to run the ball, and we're going to stop the run, because that is what we do. So, here we are, probably the biggest game of the year for us. We'll go ahead and look at the division. We're on the top of our side of the bracket. Miami's on top of their side of the bracket. We both have a 4-1 record. Who did Miami lose to, by the way? Just curious. Where's their schedule? They lost to Oregon State. What's going on in the league news? Look at that. Our running back is in the talk for Player of the Year. Excellent. How are the rankings looking? We're not in there yet. Stat leaderboards. I don't look at this very often, but here we go. Second most touchdowns, most rushing yards. Good to see. Back to the news over the Mid-American Conference. Obviously, we're going to be on top of Player of the Year for the conference if we're second in the entire caboodle. Ernest Schaefer, third for Defensive Player of the Year. That's nice to see. Power rankings, we're a little bit behind Miami here. Alright, big game of the year. This is probably going to be our most important game of this season for us. Miami, Ohio is favored by 2.5. Miami does have some injuries. They have a safety injury. They have a cornerback injury, a safety injury, a linebacker injury, and a defensive line injury. So every injury is on their defensive side. That could be in our favor. It seems like every time I look, our offensive talent goes down. Okay, our QB is back next week. We're going to call heads. It's tails. Miami has elected to receive the ball. It's raining. Well, that could work in our favor again. We're a run team, so let's see how it goes. Third and 2, first and 10, second and 3, first and 10, second and 2, first and 10, second and 9, third and 9. Field goal, made the field goal, 48-yard field goal in the rain. So they have a talented kicker. I want to go straight to the ground, please. And we're punting. Second and 9, third and 8, first and 10, second and 5, third and 5, first and 10, second and 1, third and 2, second and 10, third and 5, interception. And we got nowhere. Punting. Our defense needs to firm up. Field goal made. We got nowhere. We fumbled the ball. Another field goal made. Right, our offense really needs to pick it up. Our defense could do with actually, stopping the guys. Ohio missed the field goal. Touchdown. Alright, way to wake up, offense. Wait, what happened there? Oh, don't tell me we went for a 2-point conversion. We evidently did. Alright, it's our ball. Successful 4th down conversion. That play was big. Alright, important field goal here. Right now we have a 4-point differential. The field goal will make it 7. Now, if we wouldn't have gone for an extra point, it would be an 8-point differential right now. If the 2-point was what I'm talking about. 2nd and 12, 1st and 10, 2nd and 10, 1st and 10, 3rd and 10, 4th and 10, 23 seconds. Turnover on downs. Kneel on it. Let the clock run out. Alright, huge game. A victory over Miami, Ohio. Puts us in the driver's seat for the division. I'm happy with that. Extremely happy with that, actually. What's the chances we could end up ranked? Alright, our QB's back, and our offensive line is healthy again. Interestingly enough, Dickey got some experience this season. So not necessarily a bad thing. Not exactly how I wanted him to get to the experience, but not necessarily a bad thing. Right, points ahead estimate. Alright, Toledo has a talented defense, it seems, and they're suffering on offense. Alright, last week's game was huge. However, this week's game is still pretty important. Toledo is who I think of as our rival on our side of the bracket. Yes, Ball State might be technically our rival, but Toledo is perennially the other powerhouse over here on this side of the bracket. So any game against Toledo is a pretty big game, in my opinion. But in the starting lineup, what? That shouldn't be. Wait, what's the freshman doing up here? Freshman, redshirt senior. We have a 6-player rotation. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He is not in the starting lineup. What the hell are you talking about, game? Alright, here we... Okay, next week we have 2 more people back. Hopefully we don't have any injuries from this game. Our offensive talent is back up to 80. Toledo has elected to defer to the second half and will kick off to Northern Illinois. All right. We threw a pass and we completed it. Nice to see. feels like the offense is working on all cylinders right now. Missed field goal. Okay, I'm going to let the offensive coordinator have his way. We're going to put a little more passing into the mix. Since our QB is back. Whoa, what happened here? Muff the punt. Touchdown, Toledo. Field goal. Jet sweep. No, I don't agree with that. Punting. Alright, 2nd and 6. Really? "14 seconds left. We have no timeouts." Alright, we'll go for the kickoff. We'll go for this field goal. 47-yard. No, that's not happening. It's 4th and 8. We're not going for it on 4th down either. I guess we're gonna have to hope our punter can figure it out. And he didn't. Right, this game is too close. Okay, offense, could you wake up? Boy. Successful 4th down conversion. Was that the game? Yeah, that was the game. Okay. No injuries, please. Offensive lineman, of course. Alright, so you're healthy. Defensive line. Alright, that was an important one. So we're not completely healthy because Peyton Burke is like our #1 wideout. He's missed a lot of the season, sadly. Offensive talent is down to 79 now, huh? Alright. Saul Anderson is still in the lead for Player of the Year. Nice to see. Defensive Player of the Year, anybody going? Yes. Look, we have another running back working towards Player of the Year. That's funny. Mid-American Freshman of the Year. Okay. Offensive lineman. Alright, we're on top of the power chart. We will sort by point ahead estimate. Head down to the bottom. Right, recruiting is done. Everybody left is 3 weeks from getting healthy. We're on a bye week. We're still unranked. Our defense is doing all right. Okay, this is a division game. Pretty important, as we need to not have a mid-season hiccup, right? We need to continue to play solid football. So nothing leads me to think that we're going to have any issues against this team. But if we did have issues, it would be, well, it would be bad. Put it simply, it would be a letdown. It would be not up to the expectations of this football team. And it might shake our conference going into the rest of the season. Basically, we have to win this. We're expected to win this, so we must match the expectations. We have to keep our mojo. This would be a bad time to lose our mojo. We're going to continue to do what we do, and that's run the football and stop the run. No need to deviate from the game plan that works for us. Why am I looking at adjusting the depth chart? We're not doing that. Oh. We're not adjusting this either, because our receiver is not back. He's still hurt. So we've gotten our 5 wins in the conference. We've gotten in our interceptions. We still haven't accomplished the 185 yards passing in 3 games. And that's because we've spent a lot of the year with our backup quarterback in place, and we didn't feel confident to really pass the ball because he was throwing a lot of interceptions this year. This might be where we have to work to throw a little more to help accomplish this goal. Alright. They shouldn't have the defense to stop us. However, are we going to have an issue with their offense? Looks like they have a serviceable running back, a serviceable quarterback, pretty decent wide receiver. They're fairly healthy. Right, we can't take this team lying down. They have the tools for an upset. Alright, 2nd and 8, 3rd and 6, 1st and 10, 2nd and 13, 3rd and 14. They're punting. We're running. No, we're not running. Something like that. Sure. Okay. Good. Excellent. Fine with it. Okay. Touchdown. Okay. Nice to see our offense performing. None of that. We missed the extra point, did we? Very nice. The playbook is wide open. Not that wide open. 37-yard field goal. We made it. Alright, what's going on here? We seem to have come out in the second half a little groggy. Alright, we're getting it together, it seems like. Oh, come on. Damn it. Fourth down conversion. Clock has run out of the game. Alright. We had 551 yards of offense, 221 pass yards, which will get us a game closer to accomplishing that goal. 330 rush yards. We dominated time of possession. Good game. Right, we're still unranked. One week till we have a fully healthy squad again. Right, Bowling Green, conference game. We have to respect them. They're typically fairly strong in the conference, though they seem to be having an off year. So one game away from that. We haven't faced our rival yet. This is week 10. We're coming into, I don't know, I guess I would call the important stretch. Let's check out the league news. We're still in the running for Player of the Year. A lot of running backs this year. Right, we're 7-1, and pretty much we've locked up the #1 spot. Northern Illinois faces off against Bowling Green. The Huskies take on the Falcons this week in DeKalb in a game that some say could be a blowout. The two teams are fairly evenly matched talent-wise, but Northern Illinois has the clearly better statistical profile. Northern Illinois has the second-ranked rushing offense, averaging 295.4 yards rushing per game. They beat Buffalo. Okay. Bowling Green wins the toss. Bowling Green has elected to receive the ball. It's raining. Should be in our favor. I don't like sweeps. "34-yard field goal in the rain, huh?" Missed. Touchdown. They missed their field goal. Touchdown. We let them get a big plan. Whoa, big fourth down conversion. Touchdown. You're trying to stay in this game. Field goal. What the hell is going on here? 4 verticals. No. Wow. Missed the field goal. Fumble? Touchdown. Can we get a play action? Okay, well. Actually, I want a short pass play. Another short pass play, please. Play action looks fine. QB kneel. No, we're gonna go with the short pass play because I don't know if we've gotten the amount of yards we need for that whatchamacallit or not. Call a timeout. What? What are you doing calling a timeout? Medium pass. No go. Field goal? No. Short pass play. Successful fourth down conversion. Call a timeout. This play category short pass is somewhat less effective. Yeah, think. How about medium pass? Touchdown. Game's over. Pass yards. We did it. Okay, we're still unranked. We're fully healthy. Okay, widers. Evidently somebody signed. Running back. Wide receiver, offensive line. Okay, got our number 1 wide receiver back. This is a freshman. Why has he played in games? No, none of that. We have a pair of freshmen that seem to have gotten snaps in. Actually, quite a few freshmen that seem to have gotten snaps in. Hopefully that doesn't screw up their red shirt potential. Alright, so we've been behind the curve on, what is it, this guy? Like the whole time, and now we're not? Was there a visit that he went to? No, he hasn't been to a visit yet. We just caught up. Okay, set practice focus. We're looking at a Nevada team that looks to be solid all around. This could be a rough game. Now look, we probably don't want to get a loss at this point in the season, as it could affect our mojo. However, this is a solid team. They're 6-3. They're from outside of our conference, so it shouldn't affect our mojo that much. However, we can beat them. Maybe we might actually get ranked. Number 2 points per game defense. Number 3 yards per game defense. We're fully healthy. We've accomplished all of our goals except beating our rival, which is on week 13. We are, where are we here? I think we've locked down our side of the bracket. 4-3. If we were to lose the remaining games, I think we still end up in the conference championship. Not to mention, this next game isn't even a conference game. Yeah, there's only we only play 9 conference games a year, right? Yes. So if we've won 7, the most we could possibly lose going forward is 2. So yeah, we are in the conference championship. Alright, we are favored against Nevada. Alright, they've got some nice wide receivers over there. Both teams are healthy. Tails? First and 10, second and 10, third and 1, fourth and 2, punt. We're coming out passing. Big 4th down conversion. "42-yard field goal." Yeah, I don't trust this guy for kicking a 42-yarder. Turnover on downs. Touchdown. Interception. Hunting. Nevada fumble. Touchdown. Punt. We went nowhere fast. We have a timeout. Didn't get out of bounds fast enough, evidently. .38-yard field goal. Okay, I'll go for it. Missed. Touchdown. They've been tough on the run. We haven't run much this game. Okay, game over. I'll take the victory. No horrible injuries, please. Worst one I could think of is our starting running back injured for the rest of the season. Not some injuries I would want to have, that's for sure. Safety, linebacker, offensive line. Alright, we're going up to a 4-person rotation. Offensive line. Eastern Michigan on week 12. Important for recruiting. These 2 weeks are where most of my guys are set for visits. We're going to run the football. We're going to stop the run. We're going to lock in that focus. Let's practice it up. Nothing to change there. Alright, let's look at the news. Look at that. Anderson is still leading the way for Player of the Year in the entire league. Nice to see. Alright, we're still number 36, evidently. 9-1. Alright, we're going to play one more game. We're going to play this Eastern Michigan game. We're going to leave the rivalry for the next episode. Okay, Eastern Michigan is a team on our side of the bracket. should be a victory, but we have to take them serious. We are overall more talented than they are. Eastern Michigan has elected to receive the ball. We'll kick off. Right. Our defense really should step up and stop them. It's not the type of drive we're wanting to see. At least we held them to a field goal. It's a field goal apiece. Once again, our defense is giving up yards. Okay, he made that field goal. What is going on here? Come on, D. Touchdown. What the fuck? Oh, we were evidently running out of time. What team is this? Well, thankfully our offense showed up to this game. No. Goal line. Halfback dive. Nope. Goal line. Halfback dive. Touchdown. Alright, 342 yards rushing, 197 yards passing. I don't know who this Eastern Michigan team was, but they sure came out on fire. They had an offense that wouldn't be denied for quite a bit of the game. Come on, no injuries. Well, we had injuries. Linebacker, defensive line. Alright, these were the people who were there. Mostly offense. He showed up at the Nevada game. Huh. Said I wasn't going to spend nil on anyone, but this guy's an A+ gem. And he's not convinced that we're the place to go. Nil is not a big deal for him. I'll offer him the same everyone else has offered him. Alright, we're going to run the ball, and we're going to stop the run. That's what we do. Nothing to adjust. Right, we're still only number 33. We haven't broken into the top 25 yet. Probably won't. I figured our close game against Oklahoma would count for something. But it doesn't seem to be. League news. Saul Anderson is putting up a fight for Player of the Year. In fact, Oklahoma is number 2 right now. Huh? Nevada? Shouldn't that be us? Well, who the hell did we play this year? I thought it was Oklahoma. It was Nebraska. Okay, well that makes more sense, doesn't it? Yeah, okay. That makes a lot more sense. Alright, this is where we're going to wrap things up, folks. So, we're going into the final rivalry week against Ball State. That's our last thing we need to accomplish all of our objectives for the year. If we beat Ball State, we get a nice 5.25 payout, as well as leads us into the conference championship game. Well, it doesn't matter if we beat Ball State or not. We're in the conference championship. If we can win the conference championship, well, sky's the limit. We might actually break into the top 25 in the playoffs. Though, don't get me wrong, I don't expect that we're going to go very far in the playoffs. But it would be cool if we could, though highly unlikely. But there is certainly an outside shot. What this does lead to is I have a good shot at becoming Coach of the Year, at least within the conference. And having that extra coach recognition could get me an offer to leave Northern Illinois, which is sad because right now Northern Illinois is just starting to blossom. It's starting to come into its own as the squad I've built, right? We're a young team right now, 10-1, 8-0. We are automatically the favorite next year because we're going to be a better squad than we are this year next year, because we are a young team. Most of our starters are going to be back next year. We're only going to be stronger next year. In fact, our running back is going to be back next year. I believe our running back's a junior. Let's make sure I'm right about that. Yeah, he's a junior, so he's going to be back next year. Bigger and better than ever. So yeah, great year this year. We should be absolute favorites next year. Anyway, I'm James Johnson, aka Sulfurblade. This is my content. Hopefully you're enjoying it. If so, please smash that like button, consider subscribing, and until next time, all peace.